Hello, and I am not here. Hold on, there we go. Again, I have to reset it every live stream until I guess they fix the bug. Welcome, everyone. I guess Wavy's back. Tesla. Well, that's an understatement. Big rally into the close today. Seems like 1,000 is up next. I agree with that. I'll cut to the chase. There was a 4-hour and daily buy signal triggered today. So I am watching for higher prices. So if you're new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing the bell, and liking the video. And now you can stop watching it. I sort of gave away the last page of the book. I guess I wouldn't be a very good author, or a very good, I don't know what I'd be. I could be a good author without, I don't know. Never mind. I'll just stick with my hot, warm, and cold porridge. That's related to the market overview videos. So yes, a buy signal with today's dip down, back down to test the lows. Again, we had market weakness until we had the Fed meeting. So, okay. What else do we want to talk about? Don't worry, real Tesla fans stay around for every minute. Are you a real Tesla fan? I want to go through a little setup today. I was active in a lot of stuff today. I didn't have a lot of time to put stuff in Discord specifically for Tesla. I did put it in for the S&P and NASDAQ to watch the double bottoms, which triggered and went to target with the Fed announcement. Hi, Dave. So I'll show you one little, again, I've covered this before. We had some strength right off the bat. I said watch the 1 hour and 15-minute rotation zones. Why did I put that in Discord? Because we ran up there, smacked into the 1 hour, which is definitely, do not ignore these rotation zones. And you had this prior resistance shelf right there that it couldn't get through. So that's a great area to raise stops if you were buying from earlier. And then you might have got stopped out in this, but then you look to get back in on another buy entry. Let's see. How did you decide buy signal? Well, I'll show you one from today. What I like to do, so we sold off, again, breaking down here, but then we had a momentum reversal. When you find these momentum reversals, okay, also, we went higher high in the RS, so we had a sort of a triple sloppy divergence down here, which I just don't buy off there. I want to see a strong rotation up. Well, we had a strong rotation up. When you see these kind of momentum bars, I immediately put on my harmonics, and then I don't want to see a close below. Let me zoom in here. A close below the 62.5. If we pull back and get a close below the 62.5, I'm not looking to do anything. If we pull back and then rotate back up, I am looking to do a play with that. Okay, so we pulled back and one of my key areas I love is between the 50 and the 62.5, and then rotated back up. If you thought this was weak, this was definitely a strong rotation back up there. So verse, if you take momentum bars here, so you have these couple momentum bars. This would not be an entry because it closed below the 62.5. So you have to wait for a reestablishment of new momentum to test it. See, this pulled back too far. Now, that was also during the Fed. I was just giving you an example of the difference between these two momentum bars, watching for the pullback, versus these three momentum bars and watching for the pullback. Okay, even this little momentum move up with this move off the Fed, this can even qualify. So you see how we get one pausing bar? So it doesn't have to pull all the way back, but you get a pausing bar and then you get the momentum move up. That can also be an entry. It's to take advantage of a momentum movement. Let's see. So that's one. I have a lot of different buy triggers I use, but we watch for divergences. We watch especially for doubles. Oh man, the doubles in the S&P and NASDAQ today were a thing of beauty. Now don't just buy because you have divergences, because again, you can have repeated divergences. Wait for some kind of move up, especially like a momentum move. You're not trying to pick every low or sell every high. You're trying to get the high probabilities. So when you start getting momentum moves like this off of key, especially see this, what happened here? Got the close below here, and everybody's like, whoa, is it going to fill the gap now? And then, fine, and let's say you took a short here, fine. You start getting this the other way, cover your position because this has sucked people in. And again, it was thin trading, waiting for the Fed announcement. There were a lot of people sitting on their hands. They're like, I'm not getting in front of the Fed. So this is thin trading, and stuff can get pushed around in thin trading. Just as there'll be thin trading right up around Christmas time and everything else, and between Christmas and New Year's, you can get some pretty thin markets. So you have to take that into account. So let's say you did do a short here on, okay, we're going to fill the gap, and then it starts doing this. Well, this is where you start covering and look for that reversal momentum move, because this will suck people in. And when you see strong momentum the other way, it's sort of like, it's not my theoretical shake and bake pattern, but it's similar because it sucks people in, and then you get, and don't just watch for a little rally the other way and a rollover, but this is momentum. Remember, when you get a series of candles, very little overlap, especially with wider range candles. Watch for those kind of momentum moves. And then you want to find a way to jump on momentum. Thank you for the super chat, genomic stock. Thank you. Let's see. The science behind exploiting momentum moves. Only here, folks. Momentum moves. All right, I'll give you an example. Let's say you were watching this one. Here's another one. See this? All right, you're watching this on the 5-minute open. Okay, we're going to the upside. We hit that key level. That 1 hour rotation zone, which I said yesterday in the live stream, watch that 1 hour rotation zone. There's a reason I say things. And I'm not going to tell everybody how to trade. I'm going to point things out. And then I also say when it hits rotation zones, when we hit significant levels, when we hit major harmonic clusters, raise stops and or take profits off the table. So you should know that by now. So start incorporating this into your trading. But back to my momentum thing. So you have this little momentum move. Where do I not want to see close below? It pull back. We didn't get any strong rotations up here. I want to see a good strong rotation up here. You got a little snapbacks, but they disappeared quickly. Close below the 62.5. Not interested. Not interested. It has to reprove itself. This should not pull back beyond that 62.5. And that 62.5 level holds a lot better. For everybody asking me why I use those versus fibs, this is a key. It's tested out way better. For example, look at this. Sorry, we could do it to even here. Look at this. See this? This fib we would have got a close below the fib right there. The 62.5, no, it holds better. Trust me on this. I've done the research. I've done the testing. So those were your intraday little entries. By the way, this is a 4-hour entry. Not only is it closing in a rotation zone, it's a %B entry. So now I'm definitely watching for that 1,000 area and the other side of the 4-hour rotation zone. What do we do when we hit these key areas, especially that 1,000 to the other side of the rotation zone? Use it to either lighten up something. You can lock in something because remember, you're against the 4-hour and you're still against the daily. And you still have the unknown Elon selling principle. So it never hurts to raise stops and or take something off the table, especially because things rarely go in a straight line. You can come up here, rotate back down, get another entry. This is where I talk about trading around the core position. So this could be an area to lighten up. You get a nice little pullback, a re-entry signal, and then you add back in to take advantage of the next run. Well, where would be my next target areas? And first off, before you, we're about 1,000 is the daily rotation zone. So before you even get to that other side of the 4-hour, watch tomorrow. If it's a strong move up and you did get a daily buy signal also, watch for the running into the daily rotation zone. Okay? And that's your first area to watch for. And then once we get through there, you watch the other side of the 4-hour, then watch the other side of the daily. I hope that makes sense. I see your message. I'm not going to put up your Discord username, but thanks for genomic stock. Then thanks for being a member on Discord. So that is how you're going to keep running it up. Let's see if there's any other short-term levels we can get on the charts. Remember, this massive double, even with today's price action, is still in play. Okay? So nothing has changed with that. And with this, I'm updating the harmonics. It could not even get down to the first harmonic lower. And oops. And I've talked about that before. When it can't get to that first harmonic lower, we start watching for a strong reversal move. Just like when it can't get to the first harmonic higher and rolls over, you start watching for the bigger pullback. Okay. We got a 4-hour pausing bar. Oh, look at that. Thing of beauty. So here's what I'd be targeting. I mean, we closed up above here. Remember, we're into, this is a single candle clear path with a gap. Okay? And remember, you're all closed up in here. This is an we call an advanced clear path. There's not many stopping points. And look, we have the harmonic. Remember, I put the stopping point on the chart before? You got the harmonic right there. 985.06, great area to raise a stop going into tomorrow. And this is where we do the multi-time frame. It's in front of the daily rotation zone. So you could easily use these two levels to raise your stops going into that daily rotation zone. Or you can always, if it stalls out here, starts rolling over, we get some divergences, pull something off and then watch for a nice pullback trade. Okay. Above there, then I'm with the daily rotation zone to that 1,000 to 1,005 level. Then we'll adjust the intraday harmonics. Then above there, we are, 1,010 is the 4-hour rotation zone, but that's probably going to drop and flatten out just a bit. So those are what I'm watching to the upside. Through that, I'll use my updated harmonics, and then the next major area, let me go back to the shorter term chart because we had all that selling. See, there's that, then go back to that 10, 1019, 1020 area. That's going to be key. I'm sure everybody remembers how it stalled out here before, and then we had the gap down and the selling right there. So that's going to be your next key level. Then above that, 1030, and then 1037. There's a couple stopping points, but this is why. You see how when we get this kind of advanced clear path, it eliminates a lot of the stopping points, so you can target your levels a little better. That's why when you start trading into these kind of areas with lots of stopping points, it can be trickier, and you need to raise your stops more often. Thank you, Wavy. Thanks again. Thank you, everybody, to be here. I'm glad I made it crystal clear. Can you speak a little on thoughts on the market reaction to the Fed's clarity on taper and rate hikes? I went over that in the market overview. I'll touch on it briefly here. I mean, the taper is going to happen. Now, they're going to be tapering. I think we're going to get slowing down next spring. So they're going to be tapering into that. Earliest rate hike with 90% odds right now is projected for April. It depends, though, if we start slowing down. If we start slowing down too much, they're going to find an excuse to cancel rate hikes, or we might get one in. It could be a one, we roll over economies, because we're already heading into a slowdown. So, they got to get out of this taper. Inflation's way too hot. They should have been doing something before into some of the strength over the summer and fall. And now they're behind the curve. They got to get that taper off, and then we'll see if how many rate hikes they get in. I'm not expecting their full 3 next year at this point. Things can change next month or the month after, but at this point, I would be betting against 3 rate hikes next year. We might get 1, maybe 2. I don't even think we could get 1 if things really slow down in the spring. My thoughts on the market. I'm now in bullish mode until proved wrong. Yesterday in my market overview, I said it looked like we were putting in a bottom. Today, it doesn't hurt to revisit a couple of these things. Today, I put in Discord, watch this double bottom pattern. This didn't ruin it because this was part of the Fed move. But then there's a 1-hour trigger I put in. I was triggering off the 5 minute just because of the Fed volatility. Normally in the normal conditions, I wait for that 1 hour. Then you just see that one blasted off. This blasted off. Now let's take a look at the S&P bigger position picture. This won't hurt for some people who don't go to see my market overview. But this is my bigger picture. I'm not going to do the NASDAQ, but the S&P triggered a daily buy signal. Again, unless it rolls over here and takes out yesterday's low, I got to stay in bullish mode. And you can also see the clusters up here. Look at our next major cluster, 4,800. It just happens to be right there. So that's the next major area I'm watching, but we still need to get a close. I need to get a close up in this, a higher close than back from the 10th. Not a weak little close near the 10th. I need something like above this 47.22 to really start generating some upside momentum, but I am in bullish mode. And like I said, this is short-term bullish mode for Tesla. There's a couple very good buy signals today. That doesn't mean we're targeting 1400. That means we're paying attention to these rotation zones, and then I get even more bullish again if we trigger this double. And then we'd have to see how it reacted up in those areas. But we have plays to the upside now. And for any of that 4 hour or 1 hour, if you drop below today's low, especially on a closing basis, done, out. Then I'm really going for lower prices. And remember, we don't have this, it's right here. We got 2 days left in the week, so this could easily not trigger this weekly double top still. That's why I said I was watching it on the weekly basis. The Fed has been practicing the trading discipline of being idiots, okay? Don't even get me started. I will go on a massive rant with those clowns. Sorry. The insider trading experts. That's all I'm going to say about that. And you know, good to know that these still support insider trading by Congress people with non-public information that can front run this. No, as long as we report our stock positions later, you know, months after the fact, it's all good. Just because we have we pass the bills, we know conversations with major companies, we know what's coming down the pike, so we can front run it, both buy and sell with our information, and that should be perfectly okay for your members of Congress. Go on the rant. I will save that for another day. We will. You know what? You're probably when they cancel the rate hikes next spring, you know, and they come up with some lame excuse to try to keep the market propped up. Then we'll get that rant. Then I'll have a couple more months to really refine it. With that, I'm gonna talk to everyone later. I'm not seeing any more questions right now. Again, thank you for being here. Just remember to don't take rallies. You can still have Elon selling. That plan, as far as we know, is still in place. Hasn't canceled it. Only about 70% done. Now he can cancel it any time, but he's got some more potential selling to do before the end of the year. So raise your stops, because we start getting him selling and a lot of the funds selling in front of him or with him. You can get these pretty big downdrafts. And if you keep in mind the overall pattern, we're still in lower lows, and you'd have to take out the high from December 8th to make at least one higher high to break this downward pattern. So don't just be taking everything for granted. We could easily run up to the other side of the rotation zone and rotate back down. So you'll be wanting to raise your stops and locking in profits. I'll leave it at that. Bye for now, everyone.